Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so today we're diving into the fascinating world of mental health, exploring the biology of the brain and the power of mindfulness. We'll learn about the difference between mental health and mental illness, how our brains work, and some valuable self-care tips. So, without further delay, let's get started. First, let's define mental health. Mental health refers to our psychological, emotional, and social well-being. It impacts how we think, feel, and act. Mental health is essential at every stage of life, from childhood to adulthood, as it influences our ability to cope with stress, form relationships, make decisions, and manage emotions. Good mental health is characterized by a general sense of well-being, the ability to enjoy life, resilience, and the capacity to deal with life's challenges. On the other hand, mental illness refers to a range of mental health disorders or conditions that affect a person's thinking, feeling, behavior, and mood. Common examples of mental illness include depression, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorders, and schizophrenia. More on those in a moment. These terms, though, mental health and mental illness, are often used interchangeably, but they actually represent different aspects of our psychological well-being. Understanding the distinction between them is important in addressing our overall mental well-being. I think it's also important to understand that mental health and mental illness are not mutually exclusive. A person can have good mental health while living with a mental illness, and someone without a mental illness may still struggle with their mental health. Mental health exists on a continuum, and our position on the spectrum can change throughout our lives due to various factors such as life events, stress, and physical health. Let's move on to the basics of the brain. Our brains are incredibly complex organs composed of billions of nerve cells called neurons. These neurons communicate with each other through electrical signals and chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. When these systems function properly, they enable us to think, feel, learn, and remember. Mental health conditions can arise when there's an imbalance or disruption in the brain's chemistry or structure. This can be due to genetics, social or environmental factors, or a combination. Let's talk a bit about some of the common mental health conditions. Depression. It's believed that a key factor in depression is an imbalance of certain neurotransmitters like serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. These chemicals help to regulate mood, sleep, and appetite. When their levels are disrupted, it can lead to depressive symptoms. Another common mental health condition is anxiety. Anxiety disorders are thought to be related to abnormal activity in the amygdala, a brain region responsible for processing fear and emotions. When the amygdala overreacts to stress, it can trigger thoughts or feelings of fear, worry, or panic. Thankfully, there are many treatments available to help manage mental health conditions. These can include medications that help restore neurotransmitter balance, therapy, and/or lifestyle changes. As our understanding of the brain and mental health continues to grow, we can look forward to even more effective treatments in the future. In my opinion, prevention is the best medicine when it can be applied. Here are some self-care tips I thought I'd pass on to you. The first technique is mindful breathing. Mindful breathing exercises can help to ground us in the present moment. In the words of the famous Kevin Smith, when you breathe, you know you're here in the moment. It puts you right here, right now. You can't breathe in the past. It's impossible. Nor can you breathe into the future. Being mindful is essential these days. especially since most of humanity has an addiction to overthinking. Another technique that can help us relax the mind is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. By listing your senses out loud, 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 you smell, 2 you taste, 1 you feel, you're putting space in between your thinking and telling the brain to relax, that there's no real threat. It's just your thoughts. To promote overall well-being, it's essential to address both mental health and mental illness. Focusing on mental health helps build resilience, enhance relationships, and improve coping mechanisms. Addressing mental illness involves recognizing symptoms, seeking professional help, and following appropriate treatment plans. By taking care of both aspects, we can lead more fulfilling and balanced lives. Remember, there is no shame in seeking help. It takes strength and courage to seek treatment for mental illness. One of my favorite quotes comes from Charlie Mackesy in his book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up. So I say, refuse to give up. Ask for help. Thank you all for joining us on this journey through understanding mental health and mental illness, and the power of mindfulness. If you found this video helpful or informative, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. See you in the next video, and stay mindful.